can't even make this up. As a young kid walking 2, 3 miles to school every day, back and forth, you know, you can start at the very bottom, but no sky is too high to reach.
College, a time of transformation, where relationships, challenges, and experiences shape who we become.
Did you say the Yanks?
It's late nights and early mornings all leading up to a single moment.
This is pathetic.
Walking across that stage, receiving that paper that says, you did it. Exhaustion, cramming for exams we barely pass. You step into unfamiliar spaces, joining clubs, forming friendships, taking chances. Sometimes, without knowing exactly why.
What?
The truth is, everyone's why is different. As students, we fixate on graduation, that milestone we've worked toward for years. But the journey to get here, it's rarely a straight path. Instead, it's a winding road filled with uncertainty. Uncertainty about what's next, about who we'll become, and about whether we're ready for that moment, that real world. For some, the future is clear. A job secured, a fresh start, new colleagues, new relationships. For others, the path isn't so defined, and the weight of the unknown lingers. The pressure to break into the right rooms, to carve out a space in the world, can feel overwhelming. And in those moments, we look back longing for a time when things felt simpler. We are so fixated on that finish line, that last mile, the closer, the ultimate end, that we forget to honor the journey that led us to this moment. So let us take a chance to reflect on what we've done to get here.
I was like, wow.
This is the beginning of the end.
My LaSalle story is kind of interesting because I wasn't supposed to go to LaSalle. LaSalle was one of the only schools of all the schools I applied to that offered my family a very affordable education within 4 years' time. I come from an immigrant family. When my family first immigrated to the United States, we barely knew how to navigate the world of finances or how to really save for a better life and stuff like that. And growing up in a suburban area, see a lot of the successful people and you ask them, what do your parents do? Oh, my dad's a stockbroker. Oh, my dad works in finance. My dad's an accountant. So I'll say relatively, I felt like the influence from that, it's really what led me to the field. I saw it as a way of breaking barriers and coming up within a family that wasn't financially wealthy, or we weren't bad off but financially wealthy. I saw it as an opportunity to go into a career that I had some bit of passion about, but also saw the chance of living a very rewarding future from this career field. Being a pioneer for my younger siblings, coming in with a blank canvas, filling up that canvas, and an unscripted canvas as well, making sure I make as much mistake as possible so I can be able to correct them when they're walking these tracks like I once did. I would say I never felt any pressure because I've had such a good support system throughout the past 4 years. Getting phone calls from my mom daily, not weekly, my aunts weeklies, my grandparents weekly, just reminding me of why we're all here for you. You're on a mission, and all we want for you is for you to achieve what you want for yourself. Your goal, not our goal. You're out here to to provide a better life for yourself, and my mom reminded me of that every day. Growing up, I saw my mom struggled a lot. She was an immigrant in the U.S. without proper documents. She always wanted to go to college, but she could never. She didn't have the right documents, and she had to work. So being able to live out that, seeing that I have the opportunity to do that, and something my mom wanted so bad, and I got the chance to do that, it's a blessing, having her as a support system past 4 years. It's truly been a motor to my engine, and she really fuels my engine. My story is a success story. Not many kids from where I'm from will be in seats like this, heading into directions I'm heading. So never limit yourself. You never know what you're capable of, and don't ever underestimate yourself. Always set the bar high. That's the only way goals become achievable. With a high bar, you hold yourself accountable in everything that you do in life, and that's one thing I've always done from day one. Always hold myself accountable, because at the end of the day, like, I'm trying to be successful, you know. So why doubt myself when the goal is to eat? So.
I wouldn't say it really felt like a home while I was here. I did feel really disconnected from the community just because I didn't feel like I was like allowed into the other buildings. And like, even though I had like my student ID, I didn't know like what buildings I could access or like where I was even like allowed to on campus. Balancing work, family time, and classwork was like really difficult, and my personal time as well. It's because like I was driving back and forth about 40 minutes, not including traffic, not including like potential car accidents in the streets and like stuff like that. So it was like kind of difficult balancing all that kind of stuff out. The thought process started with my friends telling me about them being RAs at their universities, like in different states, and I thought it was a pretty cool thing. They told me what it was, but I didn't really understand it at first until like I started looking into it myself. So I told myself I'm going to apply during my sophomore year, and I did, and then I ended up becoming an RA. And I would say it really changed my experience because like it allowed me to have like a lot more free time in my life. Being an RA on campus helped me make a lot more friends, allowed me to be more involved on campus, allowed me to join more clubs like SGA and powerlifting, and be an ambassador on campus. So there's a couple things like I just like wanted to do, which I thought was really cool, and it just like allowed me like have more of a connection with LaSalle and really feel like I was like a part of the university compared to how I was when I was a commuter. I didn't really feel like I was a part of the school. I felt like I was just like coming here for classes and then just going home. I think my most accomplishing feat I've done during my college journey, I think, is going to be graduation. And I think that's like such a big accomplishment to me because I've seen all the sacrifices that my parents have made for me and my siblings, like one day go on and finish college, because I know something that's like very important to them, and like it has been very important to me as well, being able to do that for myself and for my family. Do your best to get involved on campus. I wish I got involved on campus a lot earlier. There's like a lot of things on campus that you can get involved with that I just did not know about personally. Trying to like find a friend on campus that you can go to events with. Just find one, and like I'm sure like just going to those events will like lead you to getting involved on campus, and that can like lead you to making more friends, and maybe you can even become an RA from meeting that one friend and vice versa.
I felt really nervous when I first joined LaSalle. I remember telling my mom that I was really scared to play up against like older girls because obviously they have more experience, they're faster, they're stronger. The very first game of my freshman year, I was gonna play. I was one of the better freshmen coming in my coach's eyes, and they awarded me with some play time, and they brought me to Penn State. And I remember everyone was very intimidated because although we're both D1 schools, Penn State's in a completely different league. So to be brought on that trip with a travel roster of only, 22 players, it was really awesome to have your name on that list. The first half, I remember going in and I played like 20 minutes. The game was so fast paced, I was not used to it whatsoever. And then the second half I started, and like maybe 12 seconds into the first half, I pulled my hamstring, like completely tore it. This ended up taking me out, like I said, into my sophomore year because I kept rushing back into playing, and I re-injured it about 5 times throughout those 2 years. So not having the correct training and PT and recovery was really, really frustrating because each time I would think I'm coming back healthy and I wasn't completely healed from the previous tear or whatever it was. I look back and I'm really, really proud of how well my attitude has been throughout the whole thing, because there were so many moments where it was really easy to complain or even give up, like leave, and we had 9 transfers my sophomore year, so it was really hard, and 2 of those were my best friends also, so it stunk, but I'm really proud that I kind of stuck it out, proved it to myself that I could do it. I got awarded captain my junior and senior year, which Felt so good. I actually didn't play much at all my freshman and sophomore year. And coming back from that and then junior year becoming captain, it was just like so cool. And it also shows that you don't need to be on the field all the time to be a leader and to be someone that people look up to. Since I've been on a team, I can understand how to communicate differently with different people. And being a captain, you really have to adjust the way you speak to people depending on how they'll respond to you. I am like a big cheerleader for my teammates. Like, I am the person that I want them to come to me if they have any problems. Like, I want to be the supporter and also the role model that they can look up to and, you know, be like, I want to be like her. Once I was thrown into it, it was awesome. All the girls are going through the same thing at the same time. They were all so supportive. And I was so lucky to be able to be thrown into that situation because being on a team has definitely helped me become more social and step into different leadership roles. So yeah.
What does success look like to you beyond graduation? Can you talk a little bit about your post-graduation along with that? Next year I will be heading to the University of Notre Dame as an MSA candidate, a part of their deals advisory and M&A transaction practice.
After graduation, I will come back for preseason at Fordham, and I'll continue to play there for another year.
My plans after graduation is just to like take a break from school for a couple months, and then I'm gonna sort of like look into like what I want to do with my degree. Probably go into like some sort of like law enforcement, but I'm not too sure exactly like what I want to go into.
It will be sad leaving LaSalle, but I'm really excited to start my soccer journey somewhere else. But after Fordham, I don't see myself playing professionally or anything like that unless I get a crazy opportunity. That would be cool. I think I'll probably focus on my career after that.
So my whole plan is to be in a position to help the next generation. Once you get up there, you realize that there's a lot of young African-American students that is looking up to us. By the grace of God, I am in a position one day to be in a position to help the next generation. That would just be a blessing, you know, and that's what success will look like to me. Being able to bring up a group of people of all color, you know, like people from many different backgrounds. Just being able to help people, because I know what it's like to want help, and I know how it feels to not have help. So that would be a success story for me.